Let's talk about Arsenal winning the Premier League next season. Arteta has come close twice. The first time he came close was 2022-2023. Second time last season. Do
Yeah.
you think they have what it takes to win it next season?
That's a very difficult question, right? Extremely difficult. First
But
of all,
they should have what it
first
takes.
of all, as a Chelsea fan, it's difficult to want Arsenal to win a Premier League title. But at the same
Exactly.
time, as someone that loves Arteta, that wants him to do well,
Hmm.
you are sentimental about it and like, oh, Arsenal could win the Premier. But I think maybe let's dive into it and let's analyze it bit by bit and let's see if we're able to convince ourselves
That
about
Arsenal can win the Premier
can win
League.
the Premier League title.
Arteta has come close twice and
Yeah.
losing to a manager that he has been under. So that also comes with its
The teacher
own.
and the students.
Yeah, it also comes with its own pain that I've come close to winning this twice,
Yeah,
but I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
unable to win it.
yeah,
But like you said, let's dive into
yeah, yeah,
when they actually did, make an attempt to win
yeah,
the
yeah,
Premier
yeah.
League.
Like what you have on the screen. Like last season, they made history, right?
Yeah,
They made serious history. I know most people don't know, but Arsenal made history last season. But there was no end result, no trophy. But let's even let just comparing them with like the Invincibles, for
yeah.
instance, right? Just if you can go through the stats, so we just see. Yeah,
38 games,
yeah,
26 wins, 90
yeah,
points, 73 goals,
yeah,
goals per game, 1.92. I
yeah,
mean, comparing that to like 23-24,
yeah,
right? We're seeing 89 points,
yeah,
38 game, 28 wins,
yeah,
5 draws, 5 lost, 91 goals. And
yeah.
also scoring Arsenal was so difficult last season, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
They were having games where they had like a lot of clean sheets, right? We can see they had
yeah,
18 clean sheets,
yeah.
which is
They had
you
more
know
clean sheets.
more clean sheets compared to like
The Invincibles
2003, 2004.
scored more
Right?
goals. They had
Scored more goals,
higher
but
win
they
rate.
still didn't win a trophy.
and,
There's nothing.
and you know how why like it's crazy because in a 38 match season,
Yeah.
130 years,
Hmm.
the bookies has it that last season was the best season ever in terms of the wins. They had 28 wins. With 28 wins, you can't win the Premier League title. The Invincibles had 26,
Hmm.
right? I think
Yeah.
in the 70-71 season, they had close to that amount too,
Yeah.
right?
But
But
it's
yeah,
crazy. I
yeah,
think Pep
yeah,
Pep is just is this a case of Arsenal not being good enough or Pep just being untouchable? Like because they are
yeah,
doing it. Last season was actually
yeah,
a very good season for Arsenal. Like
yeah,
Arsenal
yeah,
fans, it was a great season,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
There were games that Arsenal were going into
yeah,
scrapping, getting the
yeah,
win. It
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
easy. The
And
compactness of the
and
team, the defense.
if you remember last season, there
Yeah.
was a half of the season where they were just getting through games like, oh my
Yeah.
god, did they lose?
Yeah.
And they get through.
They
And they
get
get
through
through.
one
They kept on going.
zero.
Then they went to Dubai. Was it Dubai retreat they went for? They went for
Yeah.
one kind of funny retreat
And they came back
where they
stronger.
met the prophet and they washed their head. And when they came back, they started distributing goals, 6 goals, 5 goals.
Yeah, they came back good.
I think they won all the games from when they came back from that
Yeah, yeah,
Qatar
yeah. They had like
trip.
the winning streak. They had
From
like a
that,
winning streak. I
other
remember
South
even my own
Africa.
team lost as well.
Yeah,
Liverpool, they beat
yeah,
Liverpool and all these things.
yeah.
But
So yeah,
it's crazy. Like the two
yeah,
seasons.
yeah. And remember if you remember last season, the first half of last season, the major complaint we had about Arteta was, oh, he keeps doing the same thing. He keeps
Yeah.
doing the same thing. He's not changing, right?
Hmm.
It's more or less like, oh, you learned something from Pep.
Hmm. That's true.
We need something extra from you. We need your input in. Make it yours.
The biggest
That's,
the biggest question we should ask ourselves is,
yeah.
can they do it this time around? Can they do it? Right? They've done last season, they came close. The
Yeah,
season before
yeah.
that, they came close. This time around, this next season that is coming, can they do it?
I
Right?
think for last season, why they did not win it. Maybe some
Mhm,
people will say if they had 92 points, they could have won it. But
mhm.
Liverpool had 92 points in a season and they came second.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We can look at, yeah, we can see like last season 23-24, Arsenal
Yeah,
finished second, 89
yeah,
points, right?
yeah, yeah,
Uh, 22-23 season, they
yeah,
finished second, 84
yeah,
points,
yeah,
and 21-22 season,
yeah,
90. They obviously they finished fifth, but Liverpool finished 92 points,
yeah.
but Man
And it
City
was
93.
and it was still not enough.
It was still not enough.
Not enough, bro. So in the last, look at it this way. In the last 3 years, Man City has gotten above 90 points in two of those seasons.
Yeah.
Imagine they've gotten 93 points,
Mm-hmm.
93 and 91. So they've gotten above 90 in the last 3 seasons, two times,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One was 93, they won. One was 91, they won, right? Now you
Yeah.
now even look at Arsenal. Now the season before last season, that was
Mm-hmm.
2022-2023, Man
Yeah.
City had 89 points and
Mm-hmm.
it was enough for them to win the title.
Yes.
Last season, Arsenal had the same 92, 89 points.
But it was not enough.
It was not enough. But now, if you now look at last season, not this last season, 22-23 season,
Yeah.
right? Where Arsenal had 84 points, Man City had 89. Do you remember that Man City were bad? According to their standards, they were bad that season.
Yes. Yes.
But what? Yes. So what was the the bad thing about Arsenal that season was that they just lost 5 games straight. Was it ridiculous where they lost to Newcastle? They
Yeah.
just had like ridiculous losses that nobody could even understand
Yeah.
where it was coming from. I don't know if you
Exactly.
remember,
Yeah,
right?
I remember
They
they were
just kept on
losing.
losing, and I'm
Drew
like,
to like it drew to
and that,
Southampton. It was
yes,
just
and that,
crazy.
that
Yeah.
season it felt like Man City was weak,
Yeah.
right? If you put the
True.
stats again, put the stat,
Yeah.
let's see. I just want to see something. So now you now look at it. The season Liverpool finished 3 seasons ago, when Liverpool finished 92, Man
Yes.
City finished 93. They were
Mm-hmm.
extremely strong that season.
Mm.
They were extremely strong
Yes.
just to get ahead of Liverpool.
Yes.
Remember when it was like 10 more games? Who is going to mess up? All of them won 10 games
Exactly.
straight, right?
Exactly.
Then the
Exactly.
season 2022-2023 was the season that Man City was messing up here and there.
It was so sure that Man City was not going to even win the Premier
Exactly.
League at some point.
Arsenal were
Arsenal were
like
like ahead by like almost
like
like 8 points.
7 points or something like that.
Yeah, it was
So
theirs. It was theirs to have.
so we will say in 2022-2023 season, Arsenal was not just, how do I say it now? As Man City wasn't good by their standards. Anyway, 89 points is excellent. But Arsenal faltered in that season.
Yes. They
They,
bottled it. They
yes.
bottled it that
Now
season for
last
sure.
season, right? Arsenal did their best. They were good enough by
Mm-hmm.
their own standard because they had 28 wins. Man City had 28 wins,
Yeah.
right? And let me now tell you one funny thing, right? Man
Mm-hmm.
City have not, in the last 3 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
they've not gotten less than 28 wins. If you look at the stats,
In the last 3 seasons.
check it. 3 seasons ago, they had 29 wins. 22-23 season, they had 28 wins. Last season, they had 28 wins. Do you
Damn.
see? And Arsenal is getting 28. In fact, 3 seasons ago, Arsenal had 22 wins.
Mm-hmm.
22-23, they had 26 wins, right?
Yeah.
Last season, they had 28 wins. So I think the only way Arsenal would win the title,
Mm-hmm.
right, from what I've seen in the last 3 seasons, would be they need to get at least 30 wins.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if we go far back as 5, 6 seasons, you find out that Man City always get a standard of 28 wins. They don't
Yeah.
usually go below. They are averaging 27, 20.
27. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only way Arsenal can win the title third time around,
Yes.
they have to be better than Man City. That is the only way.
How?
If
How
not,
can they be better
if
than
if
Man
not,
City?
Arteta is not winning the Premier League title as long as
Hmm.
Guardiola remains in the league. If he decides to stay in this league for 10 years
Mm-hmm.
and he's still at this same guy, I'm talking of Guardiola, and he's still at
Yeah.
this same level, Arsenal will never win. They will go titleless for the next 10 years.
I mean, this doesn't even apply to just us now. It applies to all the teams in the
Everyone.
league.
Yeah, so you need to, so that's it. So you need Arsenal for Arsenal to win the Premier League third time, this
Mm-hmm.
third time around. They've opted from 22,
Yeah.
right, to 26,
Mm-hmm.
4 more wins. Then they opted by 2 more wins to 28.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what I think Arteta needs to do? 30.
Oof. 30 wins is a lot.
But that's it. You see something, you are desperate for the title.
Mm.
You
30
need to
wins, 30 wins is like you're asking for perfection because then what happens in the other 8 games? Are you saying 30
good.
wins, you draw some of the 8 games, you
You
lose
can do
very
you
few?
can do 30 wins,
Man, it's tough.
five draws, and 3 losses. It's possible.
It's tough. No,
After
it's
every, you
possible.
know
It's
what you do?
possible, but it's
After
tough.
every 5 games. Okay,
But
let's
yeah.
you have okay, you want to win 30 games in a
Mm-hmm.
season. You plan to draw 5 and lose
Mm-hmm.
3. Do you
Yeah.
get the one you lose? Don't let it be Man City, you and Man City.
So that
First,
one you win or you draw. You win or you
win
draw.
or you draw.
Yeah.
It should
There's
not
still
be part
Liverpool.
of it should not be part of your loss.
There are a lot of tough teams in the league,
Do you get?
you
You
know.
can share one loss to Liverpool
Mm.
if you want, like one loss to Liverpool. Then you can maybe draw away in Anfield. We know you can. Okay, lose in Anfield.
Yeah.
Win Liverpool in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? There's some kind of stubborn things that disturb us now. Draw with
Mm.
them. But you know what? They need to arrange this thing. Ateta needs to see that. I remember when Mourinho won the Premier League title.
Mm.
Yeah, there was a saying in the dressing room that he told the players what games they were going to win and what games they were going to draw. He
Mm.
did that and he said, "This is what we get at the end of the season, and we should be title winners." And that's what happened, right? So, what Ateta needs to be doing now is he should just try 7 games straight, win, package one draw inside, do another 7 games straight, win, package one loss, another seven. That's how he's going to do it. Package 5 games straight. If you have a tough set of fixtures,
Yeah.
package 5 games straight, win,
Mm-hmm.
package one draw, one loss, move on from that. Because there will always be a period where they will give you hard fixtures together.
Yeah.
So in those 7 fixtures that I had, package 5 wins, one loss, one draw, move on.
But you're doing this with Champions League, other competitions.
Okay, so
It's
this
not
this
it's not
this,
easy.
this is another point.
This I even want
Yeah.
to before you even hit that point, we're even looking at players getting injured, you gotta have like your squad not looking good. So it's very difficult. It's
But
very
now,
difficult.
let me now tell you something. Right,
Mm-hmm.
last season, do you know something? Do you know why Man City had the edge over Arteta?
Why?
Man City rotated more than Guardiola rotated more than what's his name,
Dan Ateta?
than Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
He rotated more. Do you know that Arsenal mainly used only 15 players
Last
throughout
season.
the Premier? Yes, as compared to Guardiola using about 22 on the average.
I mean, they
So
have the squad, right?
yes, so
Squad
so
is
so
hefty.
that's the thing now. And Man City first team, people on the bench are stronger than most people that are even on the pitch. Because some games you see Grealish on the sitting down with AC on the bench.
I
Grealish where
mean,
Grealish where anything you give, if you give Grealish to Man U now, Man U say, thank you,
he-
accept him. You
I
give it
would
to
say thank you,
you
Grealish.
give it to
Yes, Grealish
Liverpool.
is Grealish is okay.
Thank you,
Grealish
thank
can
you.
easily enter into any top side in the Premier League.
Not easy. He would enter into every top
Yeah,
side.
you enter into a top side in Premier League.
Or you
Grealish
talk
is good.
about sometimes De Bruyne is on the bench,
Yeah.
Bernardo Silva is on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
He rotates them. Sometimes Foden is even on the bench.
Yeah.
So that's now another question we look at.
Yeah. Shoot.
So
Mm-hmm.
what was the problem now? Arteta not Arteta only using 15, an average of 15 players
Mm-hmm.
during the Premier League race, right?
Yes.
Is it an issue of him not having a good bench?
Who is on the bench?
Good.
Smith
Okay, that's a,
Rowe,
that's a good question. Smith Rowe has
uh,
left, right?
Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, that's the one that annoys me the
Like
most.
Arsenal doesn't really have like a like even looking at the preseason against Liverpool,
Yeah,
as there was nobody to score. It's becoming now apparent that this might be an issue, right?
yeah,
Maybe Kai Havertz, they're playing Kai Havertz up front. Maybe he might not be well suited to give them the goals that you're looking for. Because if you're telling us now go into next season and get 30 wins, it
yeah.
means you need somebody to score goals. You should be
Actually,
scoring
yes.
goals. You have to win
Yeah,
games, right?
yeah.
Your defense will not take you over the line every single time,
Okay,
right?
let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
If let's just say we're playing fancy foot, is it fantasy football,
Yeah,
and Haaland was to be the striker of in this current situation,
yeah,
you put Jesus
yeah,
in Man City and put
yeah.
Haaland
Mm-hmm.
in Arsenal. Would
Yeah.
Arsenal win the Premier League title?
Yes.
No, they won't.
If you put Jesus in Man City and Haaland in Arsenal, would
Yes.
Arsenal win? Yes, they would
Why
win
would
the
they win
Premier
the
League.
Premier League title?
Arsenal, have you seen Arsenal as a team? They have the build
Yeah.
up play. They have the build
Okay.
up play to easily
So
fit in a
Man City
striker and
doesn't
score.
have a build-up play.
Man City has a build up play, but are you Jesus? Do you think Jesus would produce as much as Haaland is producing?
Do you know that there was a time before Haaland came, they finished with 29 wins 3 seasons ago. Haaland wasn't there.
I know,
He
but
had no striker.
we're looking at a Jesus now, right?
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
looking, if you're saying that Man City in
And
general, Man
and
City
you
in
know the
general
funny
can play without a striker,
yes.
right?
And you know the funny thing, the way Guardiola sets them up, he sets them up like a factory line. This
Yes, now
one
there's
moves to this.
structure. Yeah,
So no
there's
matter who
structure.
you
Yeah.
put in front,
Mm-hmm.
imagine when Sterling was in Man City, he was golden, like a golden boy, tapping. He was scoring tapping.
Yeah.
Now we are seeing him for who he is. Do you get generally?
Mm, but
So
Arsenal have what it takes in the build-up play. They do have what it takes. That
yeah,
if they get a striker, they
yeah,
can do well. Going
yeah.
into next season. But the biggest question now is, should they sign more players? You talked about
Who
they
have they
have a
signed this
lesser squad.
season?
They have no. Let's take a look at it. People that they've been rumored to want to sign, and people that they've
Yeah,
signed
yeah.
that are confirmed.
So
You
they've
know,
signed Ricardo Calafiori. I think he's a
yeah.
defender.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. I watched his games for Italy and he was really good.
No, he's
It,
good. He's a
he
good
was the
player.
only, in fact, he was the only good thing about Italy in the
Yeah, he was
Euros.
he was a good player.
Right, solid at the back. He can play. He's a Swiss, like a Swiss Army knife. He can play left
Hmm.
back. He can play left center back.
Definitely a great addition to
Yes,
Arsenal
and he
squad.
will replace that Shishenko. That side is always leaking.
Yeah, Zinchenko's. Yeah, it was even apparent
Al-
preseason. Preseason,
Always leaking.
that was how the
Right?
Liverpool was able to score
Yeah,
Arsenal. So
yeah. And they have been linked with Mikel Merino. Really good,
Merino, yeah,
really good in the Euros. He was
yeah,
extremely good. I think he
yeah,
even got a goal in the Euros, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
hmm, yeah,
But the question now is, now I know we talked about Arsenal, okay, Man City having two first teams.
yeah,
And you brought up a point that Arsenal doesn't have two first teams. That's part of why
exactly.
they can't win it,
Yes.
right? But now, see how much they've spent.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about net spend in the last 5 years in the Premier League. In the last 5 years in the Premier League, Chelsea obviously crazy spenders. Number one, throwing it on useless
I
people.
would not expect any other team to be number one.
Everyone expect Arsenal is number two on that list.
Yeah.
Net spend, right? And Manchester United is number three.
Mm-hmm.
Number four is Tottenham. We don't have it on screen, but number four is Tottenham. Number
Mm-hmm.
five is Newcastle. Number six is Liverpool. Man City is not even in top six.
How? How are they not in top six?
Thank you.
How? How? And they have charges.
Thank you.
How?
So the question I pose to you now is that Arteta used just 50, an average of 15 people,
Yeah.
right? Do you want him? And Man City used an average of 21, 22 people.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to go and get additionally five new players. Get
To
rid of
add to the squad.
Nketiah, Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
There's another guy that plays right
Smith
wing.
Rowe is leaving, right?
Smith Rowe
Smith Rowe
has
is
left
leaving.
Fulham.
Yeah.
Nketiah sell him off. There's another guy
Mm.
that plays on the right wing that comes and tries to score last minute.
Nelson.
Chris
Nelson.
Nelson. Should they? There's another guy that plays left back.
Left back.
Sometimes they debut like he's always playing instead of
Yeah, but you basically you want them to
yes.
remove
Should
some of
they
the
should they
players.
get rid of?
Mm-hmm.
So how many signings do they need? So that's the first thing. Like, are
Mm-hmm.
you saying that they need to get two first teams?
Mm.
Like I don't get it. Like they are the second in terms of net spend in the Premier League. They are
Mm-hmm.
chasing Chelsea badly,
Should they start looking more into academy
but
boys?
the academy is not producing anything. Man City's
Mm.
academy is even producing more.
Yeah, that's Man's
And gone are
academy
the
is
days
good.
that Arsenal's academy used to be the one that used to churn out the talent, right?
Mm.
Now, nothing
Investing in
really.
young players now it seems like the best thing to do
Yeah, but Arteta is buying, he's buying.
because
Have they?
I mean, how
Have
many
they?
years? No, nothing to
Ask
show for
this:
it.
which Arsenal player has come from Arsenal academy that is playing in the first team?
I mean, there are players that come from academy. Like Saka.
Okay, apart from Saka,
I don't know. I only know Saka.
it's
Which
only
other player?
Saka. We can go from the back to the front if you want.
Mm,
Their keeper, two of them, no.
mm,
Their right back, obviously, no.
mm-hmm,
The two center backs, Saliba. Oh, Saliba is academy. Is Saliba academy?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
Let
sure
me
if
check.
Saliba is academy,
Mm.
but I feel like they bought him.
So right now, Ateta should be looking more into
The
maybe
guys
investing
in
in the
the midfield,
academy.
no. Odegaard, no. So the only person from academy right now
Mm-hmm,
that comes to mind is only Saka.
mm-hmm,
Okay, maybe all this Emmy Smith Rowe. I know Nketiah was from Chelsea
mm-hmm,
previously in his academy. The guy that Reece Nelson is the academy,
mm-hmm.
right? Only those two. And
Yeah,
Remember, Saka was a defender
yeah.
that
And
became
they
a
moved him forward. Yeah,
yeah.
it was like if it was a
That's
left
really
back.
the only person. Now
Mm,
compare that with Man City.
mm-hmm.
You have you can say they've sold Cole Palmer.
Yeah, but that was solid.
Yeah, people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Foden is there. There's this guy that has what's his name? One
Oscar
young
Bob.
Oscar Bob was bought young, but he's not really from the
Mm.
academy. He was bought like
Oh
19.
no, this boy, Louis. What's his name?
Louis,
Louis. Yeah, that
yeah,
one that has the hair. Yeah, yeah.
that is from the
Mm,
academy.
mm,
Which other person is from? I think it's only those two.
yeah,
But
yeah. But those are
even
solid. Yeah, but those players you're calling, like
and
those guys are good.
even their preseason,
Yeah,
I've seen some academic players how good they are in this Man City.
I think Man City's training is very good. I think they just have a very high standard of quality. And if
Yeah,
you look at what Arteta is trying to do for us now, he's trying to
yeah,
replicate that standard of quality for his players, what he
yeah,
demands from them and what he wants, even in terms of the goalkeepers and telling
yeah,
them, I
yeah,
want you to compete against each other.
yeah.
Ramsdale is not giving me what I want. I'll get Raya. Arteta
Yeah.
is bringing that quality into the team. So
Okay.
you have to commend him for
So
that.
now we're discussing
Hmm.
signings. You have the opinion that they need at least five new players, two first
Yeah.
teams to have a
I
chance.
mean, if
Me,
they
I'm
want to rotate
saying
the squad.
my own bone of contention. They need at least 30 wins to
Hmm.
win the Premier League title. They need to be simply. They need to be better than Man City's perfection, Guardiola's perfection currently,
Mm.
because Guardiola is not going to call in sick.
Yeah.
He's
They
not
should be
calling in.
yeah, but
So
it's
for
tough.
Arteta to win the Premier League, my own opinion, for
Mhm,
Arteta to win the Premier League title, he needs at least 30 wins.
mhm,
Except he's lucky that Guardiola does not show up during the season. Maybe Guardiola is struck. His players are struck by lightning, struck by injuries,
mm,
accidents.
mm,
Do you get dressing room problems, which I know he doesn't have, he just sack you and
Yeah.
bring somebody else.
No, none of those things will happen, right? None
You
of those
get.
things will happen.
So now let's now so the question now we're entering, the segment we're entering is like, what does Arteta really need? What does Arsenal need to win it this season? Can they win it this season?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You've already mentioned a few things though
Yeah.
about
So
like
so
you
you
know
you have the opinion of new signings. That's your own point. Like
maybe
you,
new signings could help. You
okay,
know.
because the main point is you, if they are to win it, they have to get more points than Man City, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their squad is not as good as Man City's squad. Would you say that?
Definitely, like if you
In
take
terms
out,
of the quality of the
yeah, in
bench.
terms of the quality of the bench is bad because
Yeah.
if you take out Saka, right, who's coming to replace him? I mean, yeah, good replacement. Like Nelson is not all the way bad, but
Mm.
then you don't have that like for like
So
match.
are you comparing the
Com-
replacement Bernardo Silva and the Foden? They are replacing each
yeah,
other.
exactly. Or like Cole Palmer, Bernardo Silva replacing each other
Even
on the wing,
Oscar Bob is even better
right?
than Lewis Nelson.
Yeah, so it's like the quality of the players that are coming on is
Yeah,
solid,
yeah,
and a lot of teams now, like I already mentioned it, like in terms of academy, right? So when you have a solid academy, you're able to
yeah,
get that talent, like
yeah,
bring the person from the academy, use them at
yeah,
for cheap, right? And if you can load your squad with some signings and some academy, maybe it
yeah,
might help, right? Maybe it might
yeah,
help you have
yeah,
that
yeah.
squad depth you're looking for.
You're right. But there's one thing we're not mentioning:
Mm-hmm.
the coach. Another question I have to ask you on this topic. Hmm? Does at we were saying it last season throughout. Does Arteta need to just choose what he wants to win from the start of the season? That's the point of experienced coach. Just say, guys, we want to win. Like I remember when Klopp won it, the
Mm-hmm.
Premier League title. They decided that year, boys. If you remember,
Mm-hmm.
we want to win the Premier League title this year.
Yeah.
They didn't care about any other thing. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think Ateta should take that approach?
I think I think so, right? I think that's the best approach to take.
Why
You
would
know
you?
what is your priority. I already
Yeah,
mentioned this is an era where players are getting injured more frequent than no than normal, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like you're playing more games, right? You're playing more matches. If you don't have the squad depth, it's hard because you can't get that rotation that you need. And when it comes to signing players, you have to sell, you have to buy, right? Is
mm,
is difficult. It takes time to build that depth that you want, right? And looking at all these factors around you, if you're going into the season, you should have like your priority goal and then
yeah,
other
yeah,
like stretch goals. So if
yeah,
your priority goal is the Premier League, you know
yeah,
that yeah, the Premier League, this is what I want, this is the intensity I need, these are the players that are starting. You put
yeah,
your strongest squad forward. And
yeah.
then in the other competitions, you rest your boys, right? You bring the
Right.
ones that are looking for minutes, bring them to run around and do some stuff.
Yeah,
So in that sense, you have your priority goal, and then if you're able to meet the other goals, it's good. So
yeah.
I
Alright.
personally feel that should be the
And
way,
that will lessen the pressure on having to
lessen the
sign so many players.
on having to sign so many players. Like you can't do everything, right? If
Yeah,
Champions League is what you want, which
yeah.
I would think Champions League should be Ateta's priority over Prem, because I feel like Premier League will eventually happen, right?
Once
But
Guardiola packs his load, Abby,
I
right?
feel like it will happen. I feel like Arsenal will win the Prem. Like if they
Yeah,
don't win the Premier League next season,
next season. Yeah.
probably the next one they'll win it. Like it's going to happen. But
Okay.
for Champions League, it's like you need to win that Champions League.
Yeah.
You just
But
need to win it.
there's only one club in London that's done it so twice.
I mean,
It's blue. As I say, London is blue, right?
I
So
I feel like that should be his priority
okay, so
going in.
to conclude now, I'm asking you, throwing it out to you. Do you think, honestly, Arteta will win the Premier League this season? If yes, what are the conditions and what are the variables in like 30 seconds?
Yes, I think Arteta will win the Premier League next season. Why? Liverpool is going through a transition. They don't seem like a team that will win it next season. No
Yeah,
offense. I'm a Liverpool fan, but no offense. Like we
yeah,
have a new coach, new
yeah,
system. It could
yeah,
either work or it could be bad, right?
yeah,
So they are not people you should put your money on.
yeah,
Man City, they run the same script, and I think Ateta has come close to decoding that script. We saw it
Yeah,
last season where
yeah,
Man City and Arsenal played, and Man City looked difficult for Man City to beat Arsenal. It's no longer a thing where Pep meets Ateta and then beats him easy. It's tough now, right?
yeah,
They are going into the market and they are signing players.
yeah,
Calafiori is a good sign. He's a great signing, great addition to the squad. They
yeah,
have one of the strongest defenses in the Prem. Clean
yeah,
sheets. We saw it in the beginning of the video. They had a very solid clean sheet. They,
yeah,
they need a striker. They need a nine. They need someone that will
yeah,
come in and give them the goals. Maybe Jesus can provide for them, but Kai Havertz has been picking up form, so
yeah.
we can see Kai going into
So
next
your own
season
condition would be
and
if they can get
doing
a
things.
striker.
So my condition is based on every single thing or every single factor that we've seen, and
Hmm.
based on the signings, I
Yeah,
think we have what it takes to go into next season and
yeah.
win it. And I think
Okay,
they would.
okay. My own take is that I don't think they can win the Premier League title, except yes, except they get 30 wins.
Hmm.
That's the only way they can win the Premier League title. The 30 wins would have to mean that they will sign four more quality players or three more quality players, striker
Mm.
included. Striker, even two more. Two more might be enough.
Yeah.
A striker, one maybe one winger and one midfielder. That's all. They don't really need much. Maybe two people, striker and
Hmm.
another midfielder,
Yeah.
right? But that's my only two conditions. They have to get 30 points.
I
They're
mean,
not gonna win
we'll
the
see. The Premier League
league.
starts
Yeah,
soon, so
yeah,
we're excited for that to
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
You guys will be going live in Premier League weekends for our watch parties. You can catch us
yeah,
on Instagram Live or TikTok. So follow
yeah,
our Instagram, follow our TikTok for our
yeah,
live for our watch parties. Thank you guys for listening. If you got to this point in the episode, we're super
yeah,
excited.
yeah.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you like,
They should tell
subscribe.
us what their comments on if Arsenal is winning it next season. We would like to know.
Let us know your comments on if Arsenal is going to win next season.
Yeah,
Shout out to Arsenal fans. You came close last season. So
yeah, yeah,
maybe this season is your season. But
yeah,
hey, like, subscribe, turn on the
yeah.
post notifications bell, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you.